Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 Last Days of Europe with me, Alpha Pi Omega, and Greater Germanic Reich. So, today we are gonna start by a complaint from a concerned citizen called Marseille94 Marseille, who brought to our attention the fact that when we were planning our nuclear carriers, by some stroke of luck, we unfortunately didn't plan the Burger Creek class but 3 Adler class refits. So yeah, this goes back to the fact that this UI is not made for me. It means unfortunately that we have to change the Adler class to Burger Creek, which is gonna change and disband the actual production that we've already done, and lose nearly 2 months of production on all 3 of them. The first one, as Marseille94 Marseille mentioned, was a Burger Creek class. So yeah, he was right. So anyway, the clerk that was supposed to oversee the construction of these aircraft carriers was shipped to military Bezirk Rusland to count potatoes in a modern concentration camp, and then we send Marseille there as well so that he cannot jabber about this unfortunate incident to the news. Further points, someone mentioned in the comments, and I can't find the comment anymore, I think YouTube is hiding from me. Someone mentioned that it might be a good idea to actually put an artillery piece on the mechanized division here, because many of the focuses that we get actually focus on artillery. So one thing that is supposed to be mentioned here is that we actually keep artillery on some of our infantry units due to the speed limitations. So we are not actually phasing it out. Also, Gebirgsjäger are probably going to be heavily leaning on artillery, but I'm not sure if this would make sense to put here because we really don't have any place to put it. Yeah, we could put motorized artillery here, but apart from soft attack, that actually lowers everything that we get. Especially breakthrough would lose nearly 50 points. Yeah, 41.1. Defense would drop by 78.4. So I don't think that's a good idea. I get the point, but I don't think it's a good idea. Artillery will be great for defense, because defense is where it plays a big role, and soft attack. So for example, for our garrison units that are going to be located down here on the islands and in the Leopoldville Verwaltung, those are going to be great, but for now I don't think these are good here. So let's not do that at this point. We're not gonna deal with that. I might change my mind. Actually, let me check. No, we already do have the modern one. So this is the actual current model. Yeah, defense 21 and soft attack, that's their key point. They're not good in offense, they're really good only in defense. So, good point. I take it, I note it down, I will work with it, but not great for us at this point, and for the unit that the mechanized one should be. Anyway, with that said, we can continue. We are currently working on clearing the skies, which is one thing to look at it. By the way, welcome to 1970, with debt to GDP ratio 80.9%. And we are actually making strides to overtake the United States as the biggest economy in the world. I'm really looking forward to having that. I mean, the sulfur iron is already the biggest cluster, though we don't know how their clusters are. I mean, the United States and the Japanese ones. So maybe that's not fair. Okay, so clear the skies is done. Now we can go with soldiers like any other. The most difficult obstacle to overcome in dealing with the Luftwaffe isn't their corruption or incompetence, it's their arrogance. The former Reichsmarschall, with his constant praise and grooming, fostered the sickening, self-serving cult of aviation that had politicized the Luftwaffe and alienated them from the rest of the Wehrmacht. I actually wonder if this is based on a real World War II situation. I mean, not that Luftwaffe would be that corrupt and everything, but if like the groundwork was laid there, and for example the Heer distrusted Luftwaffe. I never really heard about anything like that, but I didn't study the inner workings of Wehrmacht in that much detail. In order to truly bring them to heel, we must excise this tumor. The notion of the Luftwaffe is inherently superior due to its political ties. The notion that the Luftwaffe is inherently superior due to its political ties will be debunked for good. Okay, I misread that in my mind. All favoritism will come to an end and the conduct of the Luftwaffe subjected to biannual review until the government is satisfied with their performance. By the way, this reminds me, there's a really interesting thing that I heard because I work for a corporation, so corporate lingo is actually what would be muddying the waters as far as English goes sometimes. And one of the things that are really not clear right now is when you say, for example, bi-weekly or biannual, whether you mean twice per week or once every 2 weeks. So I'm not sure if this is like every year or twice every year. Both of these meanings are actually right now legal in the sense of linguistics. The reformers causing the Reich benefits from this. Reforming the Luftwaffe will change. Air experience gain plus 0.05 daily, and military professionalism will improve. Okay, and we can get another doctrine. That is good. Air tasking, order, or stealth integration. Multi-roles. Let's go with air tasking order. The development of efficient air tasking, that is, the establishment of set target priorities, is a game changer for operational planning. Ensuring that our communication network is capable of securely transmitting such orders in real time will grant us much better command and control. So night operation penalty and bad weather penalty is lowered by 5%, and fighter and interceptor gets air attack increased by 5. Cool. We still have 143... Oh, wait, no, the air experience is here. Okay. There was a comment some time ago as well that actually was making a lot of sense and I missed it, which is, in lieu of the fact that we are reforming Luftwaffe, we should really look into researching some new airplanes. So I'm going to do that right now. Every single, like the engineering company and the improved rubber processing are going to be turned to research of airplanes. Just for that little sprinkle of roleplay, because I like it. And whoever made that comment, actually, kudos. I didn't even think of that. That was a really valid point. So we're getting the army experience, which we need for our new tank. Where do we have you? You're part 2A1. And we'll need to change the armor type to velvet armor. No, cast armor. Velvet gives armor plus 40, defense 2, breakthrough 2, and cast armor give defense 4, breakthrough 4, and armor 50%. Yeah, so cast is better. Yeah, velvet doesn't matter. Well, riveted is worst, velvet is the second best, but cast is the one that we want. Okay, so let's change that because we can at this point. As long as we're not producing them, we can do whatever we want with them. And the suspension is at hydropneumatic suppression. Was that the one that I wanted? Yeah, I think that's the one. Yeah, max speed and breakthrough. Okay. So that's the one. And now the only thing that we need to do is actually boost the armor. How much did we want? 140? 145? We wanted you faster and better than the original Leopard A1R. Defense, armor 140. Yeah, you get 130, so that's a decent upgrade. Speed. Your speed is higher. Non-reliable is actually lower. Now I have to make do with smaller or slower speed, because there's no point we can actually go high enough. I mean 16.4. I mean 16.4 would be good. Armor would be higher. Breakthrough is way higher, nearly double. The max speed is ours. I mean reliability would be down by 15%. I don't think there's anything that we can do. Oh wait, we can actually, we wanted to switch that to diesel, didn't we? Yeah, so if we switch that to diesel, 15.1 and 80 is a compromise I'm willing to do. It is actually slightly faster, and reliability is done by 3%. Cool, that's good by me. Okay, so we'll have to do that. The ego tamed. By hook or by crook, we have tamed. By hook or by crook, we have tamed Göring's pet ego. They now fly for our Reich, not his. Finally, the core of our global power projection is back under the Führer's control and will no longer balk at every other order we give them. With this accomplished, we possess the means to defend our ground forces from airstrikes, carry out search and destroy operations against insurgents, and, should the need ever arise, launch nuclear strikes without the use of ICBMs. Though we pray that day will never come, we can at least be thankful that the Japanese and Americans no longer hold a certain advantage against us in the air. So we're removing the reforming the Luftwaffe malus, and we add reformed Luftwaffe, giving us extra air experience gain of 0.05, air doctrine is lowered by 5%, aircraft cost modifier lowered by 5%, okay. Military professionalism increases, conscription policy slightly increases its effectiveness, slightly increased draft exemption policy effectiveness, and the military supervision policy effectiveness. Cool, those are some good things. 8.9. Yep, and we can now get variable attack patterns. Whatever tactic we use, it is absolutely imperative that we keep our forces from becoming predictable. Accordingly, doctrine needs to be devised with multiple options in mind for any given mission profile, offering us flexibility and keeping the enemy on their toes. So air support mission efficiency gets extra 5% bonus, air attack plus 10%, and air defense plus 5%. The Pan-African Liberation Front has beaten the forces of the reaction in the West African Alliance. Cameroon is just growing like insane. But you guys actually have a decent alliance as well. And how's the situation looking here? Yeah, ZANU Zimbabwe is winning. I think our support came too late. 6 divisions compared to 5. Well, I mean, manpower wise, we are... There might be still fighting. What are our agents doing? Are they doing what they are supposed to? What? You need to select... Oh dear lord, I haven't selected the target here and I needed to. Okay, commence. God damn it. This episode is just a mistake after mistake, isn't it? Okay, West African War. Defeated Malian state. Oh, I was just about speaking about that and Mali just collapsed. Okay, well, the ego has been tamed, which allows us now to go through to the joint operations. Titan Interbranch Cooperation takes 28 days. And we get an event, a game of war. Modify reformed Waffe by air superiority plus 2.5%. Modify Fontrascos here by enemy air support load by 2.5%, amphibious invasion speed increased by 5%, and army cost modifier increased by 2.5%. And global fleet is modified by shore bombardment plus 10%, naval industry cost by 2.5%, and we get 15 navy, air, and army experience. Conscription policy, draft exemption policy, military supervision policy, and military training policy all slightly improve, and military professionalism begins to improve. Cool. An unforgivable flaw in the Wehrmacht's conduct during the last war was its inter-service rivalry. While never escalating to the insanity one hears of from Japan, the constant bickering of the three branches stymied efforts during the West Russian War to effectively deal with the Bolshevik threat. Before that, the Luftwaffe listened to the Reichsmarschall rather than OKW when it pleased them, while the Kriegsmarine was happy to ignore any and all goings-on that didn't occur at sea. Add the SS to the mix, and one might wonder how we even won the Second World War at all. The independence of the Wehrmacht's branches must be reduced a little, and all three sections of OKW convene regularly. Every member of High Command needs to be fully aware of what his counterparts are doing at any given time. This way the Wehrmacht can avoid any complications born of professional pride and senseless secrecy. Every one of us, from the humble infantryman to the Reichsmarschall himself, has a responsibility to do his duty above all else. There is no room for self-aggrandizement in the Reich's armed forces. Oh, that's a pretty good thing. And it's gonna take 28 days to finish it. Are we close? Yeah, 5 days to get the engineering company. We're gaining the army experience, that's good. How much do I need to change the engine on the new Leopard? 6. Okay, so let's put the diesel there. And now we will just need cast armor, hydropneumatic suppression, and diesel engine. Okay, now it's all about the engine and armor. So if we just check how much we need, we wanted 140. And engine at, what was it, 16? No, that's too high. 14.9? Oh wait, the armor is too high. Yeah, 15.1 and 80, this is it, so we will need 25 experience points. I think that once we get the focus done, we'll be able to get that. And then the Leopard can enter into production. So engineering company is done, and now let's look at light aircraft. So let's start with the jet fighter, because we'll need those for the carriers. A short-ranged fighter aircraft would replace many of the heavier models in service without compromising quality. Our improvements in engine and missile technology will take care of that. Messerschmitt Blå Falke. What's the difference between the two? Subdetection. Okay, air defense is higher by 5, agility by 16. Max speed is increased by 300 kilometers per hour. Range is increased by 300 kilometers. Air attack by 9. But it's the same. Production cost goes up a bit, but that's not a major issue. Okay, this is... Okay, let's do it this way. And 3 military factories. What the hell? Well, we'll put you on the advanced artillery because we need those changed. So why not? But what I wanted to check was something else, and I forgot. Oh yeah, the experience of our mechanized units. Trained. They were 0.66. Well, that's fine. I mean, we're burning through fuel like crazy, but it's nothing that we can't manage. Overwhelmingly reformist, that's good. Shift economy towards conservatism. Charge reactionaries with treason. I don't think that's needed. At least 15 ships in the Cape of Africa. Oh, hello, we got yet another cruiser here. And these two are done. Grafspee and Hipper. Okay, you're gonna go here, and these ones will be removed. Okay, let's add you to here and take Tirpitz and Ludendorff off the manifest. They are no longer needed in active service. So it has been my pleasure, but you guys are no longer needed. Actually, these are... yeah, those ships are incredibly old. That's a level 1 battleship, so that's 1945. They're, damn, 25 years old now. I mean, that's not that much for a ship, but it's definitely as far as technology goes. So, we are going to disband you, because we no longer need your presence. But I'm happy. Okay, we still have 3 battleships. We got 9 carriers, 10 heavy cruisers, 23 light cruisers, 19 frigates, 7 corvettes, 57 subs, and 57 destroyers. Have we... I just realized we have finished the frigate research, didn't we? Yeah, improved frigate. And I've done nothing with that. Interesting. Kill... no, advanced. Advanced frigate is the one that we got, right? Advanced is the new one? Yeah, advanced frigate hull. Okay. So let's look at that now, because that is something that is also really important for us. So advanced frigate. Cool. I'm gonna open a frigate here so that we have an idea what we're dealing with. Yep, depth charges and torpedo attack. Advanced frigate. The profile changed really dramatically. Okay, so let's upgrade everything that you have. So we're gonna get the better engine, torpedoes, fire control system, radar, and sonar. Radar 2. Shouldn't you get sonar instead? Yeah, that will increase the sub detection, so I think that's more important for us. Surface detection will be the same, but sub detection will go up significantly. The light battery, okay, let's leave it there. And now, anti-submarine warfare. So depth charge is free. Let's give you 2 of those. That's gonna dramatically increase your capability. If we added more torpedo launchers, yep, your torpedo attack would go up significantly, and I think we can actually put in anti-air now. No, I can actually do it like this, and here put... that's anti-ship missile, yeah, okay. So you would have... damn, your speed would go significantly down. How come? 61 knots to 47 knots. Okay, I don't know how that's possible, but fine, we can check that later. But range goes up significantly. Organization is slightly lower. HP is 50% extra. Light attack is increased by 0.5. Light piercing increased by 1, which is a double. Heavy attack is actually a new thing, and heavy piercing. See, this is the thing, this is why you don't need battleships, because even a tiny frigate with a cost of 1700 now has 1/3 of the heavy attack of a battleship. Torpedo attack is more than doubled, 64.8 compared to 28. Depth charges 33 compared to 9. Anti-air is, well, lowered, 3.7 or 6.2. But that's not your role, you are not an anti-air ship. Fuel usage goes up. Surface detection is the same, but sub-detection is more than doubled with 10.5. Now we just need a name for you. Let's call you... If this was Kiel class... Wilhelmshaven class. Wilhelmshaven. Am I writing that right? I think so, class. Save. And we'll put you in the production. Actually, I can put you into production twice. Because I really don't think we need this anymore. And 9 and 9, which means we are going to produce 1 per every month and a week, basically. Cool, that's gonna be nice. And we got 3 civilian factories and 3 production units. So let's start by the production units. Okay, and now let's look at the 3 civilian factories. Do we no longer have anywhere to build infrastructure? We do not. We do not. Which pretty much leaves a question. Do we go ahead and start building some more stuff here? I mean, like schools and stuff like that? I think we ought to. And hospitals. Just to make sure that everything is going well. And then a bit of administrative offices. Put 1 here, 1 here, 1 down here, 1 over here, and 1 in Ostpreußen. And after that, we are actually going to start improving infrastructure in some of our territories. But for that, we'll need to see who lives where. I would expect that Moscow would be... yeah, 3.47 million. The northern parts, nope. Not really, it doesn't live that many people here. Okay, 1.3 million people here. What about here? The area around Kiev should be good, which is over here. Yeah, 500,000 people then. Okay, 1.7 million here, 3.96 million here. Okay, so Ukraine is gonna be better in this. So we might want to maybe add a little infrastructure to all of its area. The Verwaltung would be a good choice. Militärstadt would be a good choice. It doesn't matter though, infrastructure is just flat out 6,000 no matter where you build it. Okay, cool. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. I think this is a good place to end the episode, and in the next one we are going to finish the inter-branch cooperation. So, see you there.